500 million people used to play this franchise. Now it's a ghost town. These so-called AAA experiences went from great stories crafted from passionate writers to co-pilot regurgitating the same story for the new campaign modes.
Negative. We found a weapons cache. Hassan's got missiles.
We have 2 missiles incoming to the R-Club base. They have chemical warheads.
Missiles.
Our favorite characters turned into plane monsters.
You have to help us wake up.
I'm a goddamn onion, Mason.
What was it like before the dark times? What did an actual campaign look like? Well, Black Ops 4 was... Nah, I'm just kidding. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 was released in 2007, not to be confused with Call of Duty Modern Warfare released in 2019. Jesus, why did they make 2 games with almost the exact same name? Well, hopefully they never do it again. Oh, come on! Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was released in 2007, and thanks to the previous joke I just made, from here on out we'll be calling this game COD 4. Okay? Couldn't all get on the same page here? COD 4 was developed by Infinity Ward and was the first game to ever be set in the modern times. Before this, COD had only been taking place during World War II. But now with this entry, we're going into the modern times. Now, COD 4 is widely considered one of the best games in the franchise, and maybe one of the best games of all time. Now, since I hadn't played this before recording, I had never really had the nostalgic look that most people have. Not saying that this game is, blinded by nostalgia. We're not gonna say that here. I mean, have you seen the thumbnail and title here? I don't think this game is bad. But what it meant was this was an approach of someone who has never had that opportunity to play the original COD and now is here to play it. And I kind of wanted to see what I would see it as a person who didn't grow up on Call of Duty really ever. Only recently have I been considered a hardcore fan. I didn't play Modern Warfare and I played the old game, so this is kind of me seeing what it's like and me seeing it as a newcomer, to the franchise, at least to the older games. So this was a true look at the game as a person who never really grew up on it and doesn't have any nostalgia blind glasses on. What would I think of it? But today we're gonna go over why Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare's campaign is absolute cinema. The game begins with Gaz telling us how good of a state the world is in, with a civil war in Russia led by the ultra-nationalists while having 15,000 nukes at stake. Gaz then debriefs us on Khalil al-Assad, who is the second most powerful man in the Middle East, and how he may be trying to be number 1. Then we get the bad news that we have a new recruit named Soap McTavish.
Right. What the hell kind of name is Soap, eh?
Yeah, what that guy said. We begin the first mission in a military base in the UK and we are told to pick up a G36C from the table and then go to the firing range to get a feel with the gunplay. And for a game made in 2007, the gunplay is actually really good. The firing range shows us how to aim down sights, hip fire, and even shows us how good the aim assist is. Then he tells us to grab a USP-45 and how switching to your pistol is always faster than reloading. And then they show us that melee is even faster.
Nice. Your fruit killing skills are remarkable.
Then we're told to see a guy by the name of Captain Price.
Right. What the hell kind of name is Soap?
Dude, I already made that joke. Get out of here. He tells us to do a CQB test, which means running through a mock cargo ship in just 60 seconds.
Gaz holds the current squadron record at 19 seconds. Good luck.
Oh, I can break that first try. Give me a second. Oh yeah, got all 3. Why can't I jump through the window? Fuck! Okay, got through the smoke. Okay, got through the smoke. Let's go down right here. Oh, fuck, I can see shit. Oh. All right, let's throw it right down here. Okay, I'm done. 33.5 seconds. No, Price, I'm doing this again. I played this mini game a few more times, and my best time I could get was 22.6. Not the best score in the world, but I thought it was pretty solid. If you can beat my time and send a video, I'll shout you out. We went back to Price where he tells us a cargo mission is good, and we're told to select a difficulty. Guys, don't worry, I totally selected veteran difficulty. I'm a man. And then we are shown one of the most infamous cutscenes in gaming history.
Rules of engagement, sir. Crew expendable. Baseplate, this is Howard 2-4. We have visual on the target. ETA 60 seconds.
Copy, 2-4.
30 seconds, going dark.
Now this scene is already badass on its own, but with the music, oh my god! Stephen Barton was the composer for this game, and my god did he cook. I mean, it only makes sense that he's gone on to compose both Titanfall games Apex Legends, Jedi Fallen Order, and Jedi Fallen Survivor. And of course his best work, How to Train Your Dragon for the Nintendo Wii. Back to the mission, we board the boat and wait, it's the same minigame we just did. Honestly, I wasn't expecting it to be the same, and it made the minigame feel more memorable than it otherwise would have been. Then we went onto the deck and wow, for a game made in 2007, this just looks incredible, man. Then as we're about to enter the inside, Gaz pulls out a shotgun saying,
I like to keep this for close encounters.
this is yet another lesson that's shown to us and not just directly told. It's not like Gaz went, hey Soap, in Close Encounters, make sure you use a shotgun or you might be in a pickle. Instead, it just shows us him just pulling it out naturally instead of him forcing it down your throat, which I think is much better environmental storytelling. After breaking into the ship and after this guy almost got his head blown off, I threw a flashbang and Jesus fucking not again. We kill our way to the container and we open it and
It's in Arabic. So, grab the manifest in the container, move!
so we grab the manifesto and start running back to the...
Bravo 6, come in. Bravo 6, what's your status?
What the fuck happened? Oh, Christ! Get guys, where are you?
Bravo 6, come in, damn it.
Big Bird, this is Bravo 6, we're on our way out! On your feet, soldier! We are leaving!
We have to run away as the boat is getting blown into pieces. The mission ends with us running to jump onto the helicopter, which we make that jump and see the boat sink to the ocean.
Roger that, we're out of here. Faceplate, this is Big Bird. Package secured, returning to base. Out.
After this mission, we are no longer in the eyes of Soap McTavish, no. We switch up the story a little bit. We get shown one of the most interesting scenes in all of gaming. Wow, back to back, it's like this game was really good. We get transferred to the eyes of President Al-Afani, who has been captured and is in the Middle East right now.
اليوم نهضنا من جديد كشعب واحد في وجه الخيانة والفساد.
We get thrown into the back of the car and we see two men in the car. While we have the opening credits roll on screen, we drive around and see things that no game would ever show us today. Seeing the military kill civilians running away as we drive, it's another example of just showing the crimes being committed during this game. And this isn't a cutscene where it's just, "Oi mate, they're killing civilians, they're so evil." Instead, we get to actually see it happen. We see it with our own eyes through the leader of a country. You feel powerless, and it has this feeling of, this is a failure. You have failed. After some more cruising around the town, you get pulled out of the car and get placed on a stake, and this guy points a gun at this guy. But instead of shooting him, he hands it to him. Okay, well, we're gonna be fine, right? You know, someone's gonna save me, right? Right? Someone, please? Please, no. We get executed, live on television. We got to see it with our own eyes. This is one of the many things that set COD 4 apart from almost any other game I've ever played. But we'll get into that when we go actually deeper into this game. What a way to open up a game, though. So what's the next course of action? Save Nikolai Blazinski from an ultra-nationalist camp, of course. But it's actually this Nikolai, not the one from Zombies. But we are here to save him as he's the guy who gave us the intel on the cargo ship. So that means we're going on a rescue mission. The mission starts with us taking out ultra-nationalists one by one until we find Kamarov, who is a Russian loyalist and knows how to free Nikolai. Why are they spawning from the ground? What the fuck? Kamarov tells us that the ultra-nationalists have BM-21s, which are trucks that have the missiles on the back. Damn, those look exactly like the meme. We're told to take a sniper position to support the ground forces. Then a helicopter flies by, so we run with Price and Kamarov and get to use a nuke tube for the first time. After giving more sniper support to Kamarov's ground forces, Gaz ain't taking this shit no more and beats the ever-living fuck out of Kamarov, holding him by the edge of the cliff until he tells us where Nikolai is. So we go down the cliff, push through more ultra-nationalist forces, and find the house Nikolai is in. Gaz cuts the power to the house, and we go inside.
Over 6. Going dark.
The night vision is so broken, the ultra-nationalists can't even see you at all. We find the room that Nikolai is in, and he immediately joins us into a fight like a dog. Price then calls for an evac, and we escape with no resistance. Once on a helicopter, Nikolai asks if the Americans have attacked Al-Assad yet. When Price says no, Nikolai says,
The Americans are making mistake. They will never take Al-Assad alive.
After this mission, we switch to our second protagonist during the course of this game, that being United States Marine Corps Sergeant Paul Jackson, en route to capture Al-Assad.
We're gonna secure the perimeter and grab Al-Assad. Hoorah! Lock and load.
Wait a minute. Hoorah? Like Tank Dempsey? Now we are in a full-scale attack to get Al-Assad, and this mission does something I've never really seen in Call of Duty, and that is the enemies are genuinely just all around you. This isn't your conventional battle. You'll go in one direction and enemies will just be right behind you. You'll run anywhere and you'll find an enemy. This was the first mission where I died more than once, and it wasn't because it's hard, but there is an enemy at every corner, and it's almost impossible to get them all before they get to you. We go to the building that we believe Al-Assad is inside, break inside, we go through room to room until we eliminate everyone. We join up with Sergeant Griggs and we hear Al-Assad through the door. We break in and it is just a recording of him playing on repeat.
Yeah. Hoorah. Roger that,
Oh,
Commander.
hell yeah, Griggs. Turn that shit up. Somehow we go across the entire Arabian Peninsula, and Al-Assad is making his last stand against the United States, with our objectives to secure an M1A2. Wait, we're already on the next mission? We spawn in, and holy shit, this city has been destroyed. They have machine gunners and demolishers holding us back, so what do? We go Bravo 6, of course. We climb our way to the building, and I get an achievement for saving whatever the fuck this guy's name is. I'm not gonna even attempt to say that. Meaning he could have died right there. New gods would never let someone die. We're told to hit their flank with their own medicine. I don't really shoot anybody and complete the objective, so I guess I did it. We go back down to the street level and get pinned down at the building. This is Call of Duty, I can run. Never mind, I don't got this. We went through the side of the buildings to hide from the people on the top of the highway, and we get a javelin. We blow the fuck out of the tanks, and we find the M1A2, so now all we have to do is defend it. Then we have to take out anti-aircraft so we can secure the area. So we go through building to building till we get to the AA guns and blow them the fuck up. Now we have one problem left, which is the machine gunners and demolishers. I thought we were gonna have to break in and do Bravo 6 going dark again, but then the Hellies came in and blew the shit out of them. I mean, God. And then Lieutenant Vaquez says we're gonna play defense till we can get the tank moving. Oh, so sorry for butchering that name. I don't know how to say it. We're now back to Soap and the SAS, and we're back on the helicopter with Nikolai talking about Hamburg. Well, hopefully everything goes good. Oh God, we're hit! Oh shit! This is the end! I love you, Bryce! Fuck. Oh, my head. Hey, Bryce. Jesus. Only the pilots and Paulson are dead. Bryce, Nikolai, Gaz, and Soap get to tell the tale. As we begin our journey to the extraction point, we get told that an AC-130 gunship will be on its way. Well, they're not here now, so it's just the four of us right now. Wait, I can't slide. What the hell, man? We get into this little town and we take out some ultra-nationalists. We go through the field, almost get caught by a helicopter, and then begin another fight. We can't hold them off, so we run into the basement and use the house as a shield. While fighting, I got hit by a flashbang and I actually thought it was a cutscene, but no, it's just real gameplay. Yeah, sometimes this game just does stuff and it's really cool. And you realize, no, it's just actually the game. I genuinely thought that was a cutscene, just how perfect it was. We run outside and realize it's a little quiet. way too quiet, meaning they're planning another attack. Well, it doesn't take long for them to spring up in front of us. After another standoff, the helicopter decided it was time for round 2, and this time it caught us, so back to the fight. During all the fighting, I found a piece of enemy intel, and that was 1 out of 30. That was the only one I found during my entire playthrough, so hopefully they're not too important because, yeah, I'm not gonna replay them to go find them. Then we grab a standard mission and shoot down the... Oh, assholes, why are you using flares? Well, second try is a charm, right? There we go, baby. We advance until Warhammer calls saying that they can help us. They blow up the enemies in front of us, holy shit, and they cover us till we get to the evac point. Oh, I think I know where this is going. That's right, baby, this is an AC-130 mission. We're given 3 different turrets, a good old minigun for 25mm, F-40 we're given a cannon, and for 105 we're given a fucking missile launcher, like basically a mini nuke from Fallout. This mission has us shooting down enemies till they can get to the evac point. Fun mission, good change of pace, but nothing much really happened here. Now we're back in the Middle East as Paul Jackson. The Americans are closing on Al-Assad and we are missing the party. So with an M1A2 on our side, we go through the town with the help of Warpig. We're able to make it safe enough to get to the evac point to get us to Al-Assad. Now something I'm noticing, and I'll get to this later, but these US missions don't have much to talk about. It's just killing and escaping, but I'll dig into that later. We have our sights on Al-Assad, but we must be quick as Al-Assad is believed to have a Russian warhead. Nothing much will happen here. We fly in with an army of helicopters and we're given a grenade machine gun thingy. I don't know what it's called, but it's badass and that's all I care about. We fly over and weaken the ground forces, and this is how I want my flying missions. AC-130 missions are fun, you know what I mean? But this one, you're close up to the action, you can get hit, and you see the enemies legitimately just go pow. After enough bombing, we let some of our own soldiers down, then we go to a different spot and we become the ground forces. I was just having fun, guys, god damn it. We go to find some Marines and get this pilot that got shot down. We grab her, we bring everyone back to the evac point, and we all fly away. Wow, boys, we did it. We got our men back in. Holy shit, a nuke went up! Oh, fucking nowhere hit! Fuck!
Something has happened.
What appears to be an explosion of epic proportions.
Remains sketchy and unconfirmed.
Damage appears to be total.
To set off what appears to have been a nuclear explosion in his own country.
Something large that Al-Assad was among the victims of what may have been a suicidal
To burn across a massive wasteland that was once the capital of this European nation.
After a cutscene showing the nuke from satellites, we awaken as Paul Jackson in a helicopter. We can only crawl, and we leave seeing the mushroom cloud of the nuke. As we crawl, we see our fellow soldiers dead. Then the screen starts turning white, and Sergeant Paul Jackson dies. This was the most shocking moment of the story. I wasn't ready for a nuke. I didn't even know that this was gonna happen. And yeah, it was a cutscene, but one of the things this game does great is a lot of the cutscenes are put in the eyes of either Soap or Paul Jackson. So we got to see the nuke in the eyes of a soldier. That's something you usually don't see. You usually see it off in the third person, but we got to see it in the eyes of someone there. And that's what I think makes this moment so memorable and so popular in modern day media. To this day, it's still considered one of the most shocking moments in all of gaming. The United States story ends in the most shocking way I could think of. We go back to the SAS story where Nikolai is telling us how Al-Assad wouldn't go down with the nuke and may be in a safe house in Azerbaijan. While on our way, we hear the ultra-nationalists committing some war crimes.
What the hell was going on up there?
It's the ultra-nationalists. They're killing the villagers.
Yeah, well, not for long, they're not.
We go from house to house eliminating the ultra-nationalists and searching for Al-Assad. We're given the ability to use air support, but I couldn't really get it to work, so... No review of air support tonight. We continue to push through the town, checking every single house until the farm all the way in the back is last. We go to the farm, and after one last fight, we find the building Al-Assad is hiding in. Price flashbangs him and ties up Al-Assad, asking him how he got the bomb and why he launched it. But as Price is using Al-Assad as a punching bag, his phone rings and Gaz picks it up.
Sir, it's his cell phone. Who was that, sir?
Zakhaev. Imran Zakhaev.
It cuts back to the normal satellite cutscenes we're used to, but then pans and switches over to a paper map style. This ain't Modern Warfare anymore. Now, COD 4 takes place in 2011, so that means since this mission takes place 15 years earlier, we're now in 1996. This is a flashback mission where now we're playing as Captain Price, and with the help of Captain Macmillan, we have to do an assassination attempt at Chernobyl. The mission starts with Macmillan telling us because of the radiation, we have to go another way. We find some enemies, and thanks to the ghillie suits, they can't see us. We murk the guy, and we find 4 guys in the building. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Come on, I got this.
Okay. Go.
You know what? Maybe you're right, Macmillan. We continue to the church, and oh, this shot will be easy. Fuck. I get jumped again by dogs, and holy fuck, you snap their necks! We go through the church, almost get caught by a helicopter, and we go to the open field where we're told to lay down as an entire squadron of Russians and tanks are passing by. As they pass by, Macmillan gives us some very useful advice.
Try to anticipate their paths. If you have to maneuver, do it slow and steady. No quick reflex.
Now, when I played this mission and heard these lines, I went, wait a minute, I've heard this before, but where? And that's because in the mission Recon by Fire in Modern Warfare 2, released in 2022, Price tells Gaz the exact same lines.
But to anticipate their paths. If you have to maneuver, do it slow and steady. No quick movements.
Now I'll talk more in depth about this in my future Modern Warfare 22 video, but it's cool to see how just simple words said by a character that appears in 2 missions has influenced missions in the same franchise 15 years later. We see 4 more Russians, and after shooting the first 2, I go after the other 2 and...
Don't fire on the 2 by the
fuck,
lorry.
I'm too good. Then we continue our mission, and Macmillan takes charge with this sick takeout. Then we run straight to the convoy and have to crawl under the cars, and somehow no one ever sees us. We make it past and go through the abandoned buildings of Pripyat, I think that's how you say it.
Pripyat.
And we run into a wild dog. But if you shoot it, then like 10 dogs come out of nowhere and you'll most likely get killed. We get past the dogs, and Macmillan again says an absolute banger of a line.
Look at this place. 50,000 people used to live in the city. Now it's a ghost town. Never seen anything like it.
Dude, it makes me so upset we used to have such great lines out of Call of Duty and its characters, and now we have fucking plant monsters. We make it to the hotel and we climb to the top floor to get the best angle for this mission. We sit at the top for over a day when Zakhaev finally does the deal. We're given all this science stuff for when we should shoot and all that, but I just saw him put it on his head and shot. Fortunately, it was an arm shot. I was trying to get a headshot, but you know, close enough, right? He should probably not survive it. But wait, he just called Al-Assad. I'm stupid. Then this helicopter decides to get in my way, so I shoot the pilot so we and Macmillan escape the hotel as the floor we were just on gets bombed to hell and back. Macmillan calls for an evac, and then we're given 20 minutes to get to it. We go through the apartments to try to lose them, but while it works at first, we run into enemy forces. So we fight them, and during that a helicopter again, so we shoot it down, and it almost hits me, but I barely dodged it. Macmillan, on the other hand, well, he wasn't so lucky. Now he's immobile, and we have to carry him for the rest of the mission. Now that wouldn't be so bad if we weren't getting attacked on every single side. Even though he can't walk, Macmillan can actually help us. Macmillan can actually help us because we can put him down and he'll start shooting the enemies. And also, you have to be strategic when you run and when you place him down to actually kill the enemies. We keep pushing until we get to the evac point with 13 minutes left to spare. We make our way to the Ferris wheel and place Macmillan down as supporting fire while we hold off the last of the ultra-nationalists. The standoff has them dropping out of damn fucking helicopters for the 15th time in this game. Thankfully, our ride doesn't take as long as I thought it would. We grab Macmillan, get in the heli, and get the hell out of there. back to the present, the Ultranationalists are sending everything they have to get Al-Assad back. Unfortunately for them, they don't know he's dead. We set up mines for some sort of defense, and we hope that the evac can come quick enough and get us out. 8 hours after Al-Assad's elimination, we get into defensive positions and hold off the incoming forces attacking our position. After slowly chipping away from their offensive, they smoke bomb the place and flank us, but since we're smarter than them, Soap gets in a helicopter turret and kills the absolute fuck out of them. After ending that flank, we go to a house and rig it with explosives and fall back to an evac point where we make our last stand. We're given a javelin to blow the tanks pushing our location. After getting rid of them, they move the evac point to the same point we came in this mission all the way back in Safe House. So we run our way there, and when I played this mission, I got there so fast, I got on the helicopter and it took pricing to gain 20 seconds to get on the helicopter. Nonetheless, we leave successfully and we're back to briefing, and we are in a joint operation. I thought the Marine Corps plot would be dead after the nuke going off.
If we're only that simple.
Even though we murked Al-Assad, it's Akayev we have to get now. So how will we get him? Well, by getting his son, of course. We'll just capture it and he'll tell us where Akayev is and mission accomplished. This seems easy, right?
If we're only that simple.
The mission starts with us locating the enemy checkpoint where Victor Zakayev will be. We take out everyone there and we take position at the watchtower with Sergeant Griggs, just in case things get dirty. The convoy comes and we hold them until we start the ambush. Victor drives into the watchtower and it collapses. We wake up to Victor getting shot at as his car explodes, where he then runs away. We follow right behind him as we run past every enemy I cross as he runs through the town. We run through the back alleys until we get to the building Victor has run into. They have MGs holding down the building, but our good friend Mr. Heli starts shooting them down and we're able to get inside. We push through the building until we get to the top where we have Victor pinned. We go up to restrain Victor, but unfortunately he takes the easy way out. Well, with our lead gone, what can we do? Well, Price knows that Zakayev won't be silent and will get revenge. Then it's revealed that the beginning intro speech was actually Zakayev. And we get more of him saying that if the US and British don't leave, or the world will not look the same.
All US and British forces will leave Russia immediately, or suffer the consequences.
So what do? We go to the nuclear facility, of course. The mission starts with us landing at the LT Mountains and then realizing that Griggs isn't with us. He then activates his emergency transponder and we go to find him. Somehow he got captured by the Ultranationalists, so we have to break him out. We find that they have taken him to a small town not too far away from us. So we come in and take everyone out, get to the rooms Griggs is in, and we get him back. Oh hell yeah, this machine gun, why can't I have it? Oh, it's Griggs, my bad, man. Now that we have Griggs back, our plan is to destroy the electrical tower so that the other team can breach the line. We run to it, place the C4, and watch it go down. We leave the area, we fight through some buildings, and once we get past them, we're on the outskirts of the facility. And as we get to the entrance...
Give you sniper cover once you're inside the perimeter.
We got a problem here! Delta 1 X-ray, we have a missile launch. I repeat, we have a missile... There's another one! Delta 1 X-ray, we have 2 missiles in the air, over.
We go back to briefing and learn that those missiles are heading towards the eastern coast of the United States and would estimately kill 41 million people. And let's take a second to think about this. We have to pray that we can get the disarm codes quick enough and go to the control room and disarm them. What I'm saying is we're screwed. So we go into the facility, blow up the tanks, we rappel down, we get briefed about the location of the room, but we still don't have the abort codes. And then... Wait, what? Yeah, so these missions are really short in the final stretch, and usually I would say all the times we got into combat or something like that, but in this mission you legit just fight the enemies, take out the tanks, rappel down, and next mission starts. This all could have been one big mission, but probably due to technical limitations at the time, that just probably wasn't possible. Now with Griggs and Price, we crawl through the vents until we can get to the bunker. As we enter the bunker, we're given the abort codes, but only have 11 minutes before they reach their target. While on our way to the launch room, we run into multiple Ultranationalist forces stopping us trying to get there. We make it to the doors to the launch room, and the slowest door opening I've ever seen in my life, we run past the enemies and blow a wall that leads us to the launch room. But after finally taking out all the enemies in that room, we're able to put in the abort codes and...
Stand by for confirmation. Stand by. Stand by.
Alright boys, mission accomplished. Hell yeah, Bryce. Man, you want to get some beer after this, dude? Well, the job ain't just done yet. We run to the elevator that brings us to the exit of the bunker. Of course, without one last fight, that ends us leaving. Unfortunately, our evac has moved and enemy forces are everywhere.
Please, a beer should be ice cold.
Hell yeah, Griggs, I'm getting a beer with you. Now in the trucks, we get on the highway and immediately drive into enemy trucks and we start shooting at them. We enter a tunnel and one of the cars crashes and explodes. We then watch a truck fly off a cliff and then watch another get rammed by a tanker and that car explodes. And then just when I think I'm safe, a helicopter starts shooting missiles at us. Now I miss every shot I take with an RPG like a dumbass, but thank you Infinity Ward for allowing the helicopter to escape because of my own incompetence. So we should be good, right?
Oh shit, he's about to take out that bridge! Stop the bloody truck!
We wake up in the rubble as the bridge is collapsing. Shit. Anyways, we get up and fight off the... You know what, how many times do I have boiled down these missions as we fight enemies? Then as we're fighting, the helicopters come back and make us dazed again. Griggs pulls us to safety, but unfortunately he gets eliminated. Then we see Sakayev and some soldiers killing in cold blood. A helicopter finally helps us as it distracts Sakayev. Price slides over a pistol and we shoot Sakayev and the other two guys. We get picked up by Kamarov who gets us lifted into the helicopter. During this, a news broadcast plays where Russia says the nukes were just a test and there's nothing to worry about, and how the ultra-nationalists are having some leadership problems. Gee, I wonder why. And it ends with the callback to Crew Expendable.
In other news, the search for a ship lost in the Bering Strait due to a major storm has been called off.
The credits roll, and thank you for everyone who worked on this game. You truly, truly made a work of art. Also, W-Tunes.
We're going deep, and we're going hard. Surely you can't be serious. I'm serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Then out of nowhere, we're in a plane and shooting everyone on board. Our goal is to locate the VIP. We find him hostage, we shoot his capture, and when we find out the plane has been rigged with bombs. So we blow up the door, we jump out as the plane explodes. The campaign of COD 4 is a journey that was really fun to play and experience. There are a lot of moments in this game that all this time later are still remembered by the fanbase and even outside of that. But that actually leads into this game's biggest problem. The story isn't as good as people think it is. Yep, throw tomatoes at me. I know I'm speaking heresy, but just let me speak my point, okay? When I say this doesn't have a good story, I'm not saying this story is utter garbage. What I mean is if you really look close up to this story, you realize the story is very vague and not a lot really happened. The best example is the enemies and who we're fighting. Ultra-nationalists. They're as bland as water. The name isn't really unique. Every country has ultra-nationalists. We don't know what their policies are. We don't know why they're in a civil war with Russia. We don't know why they're evil. They're never really looked at, and they're very bland. And now that gets even worse in the Middle East missions. How about the fact that it never says what country we are in the Middle East, and it's just the region? And besides the President Al-Thani and then Al-Assad, we know nothing about what they're doing and what their politics are and why they're all evil. Now the reason for this is two factors. This was the first Modern Warfare ever, and 9/11. At this point in time, that was a much more sensitive topic, and when you're trying to make a game and convincing people to actually play your game because Modern Warfare isn't an established title, the last thing you should do is dig into that topic. But where the game lacks in its story, in my opinion, the game shines in the moments it has. The entrance with Crew Expendable, the nuke going off, killing Zakaya, 50,000 people line. These moments are a part of what make this game so special. I mean, besides Fallout, I've never seen a nuke ever get launched in a game before. All these moments lead up to the fact that the game feels like a movie. Again, with Crew Expendable, that intro is one of the coolest scenes ever. And instead of it just being a cutscene where you see it happen, you're in the eyes of Soap actually landing with the helicopter. And it still has the music and the intensity, but you're in the eyes of Soap. You're actually seeing it instead of just having a third person see it. I don't feel like I'm watching a cutscene. I feel like I'm in the cutscene. It feels like a movie. Or how about the fact when you kill Zakayev, you actually kill him. We don't watch a cutscene of the guy killing the bad guy.
Oh, I am not gonna beg for my life. Wouldn't do you any good.
We actually get to do it. And do I still have to glaze the guy who wrote the score for How to Train Your Dragon for the Nintendo Wii? Steve Barton did an incredible job here. Jesus, he's amazing. I hope he's in the next game. Well, I guess maybe Hans Zimmer might be slightly better. Now, for the two stories we get with the SAS and the Marines, it ends up being that one story is way better than the other when it comes to the story. I never really got a real connection with any of the Marines outside of Griggs, and he's in the SAS missions at the end of the game, so that's really the only reason I ever liked him. But for the SAS, it's just a lot better. You got Price, Gaz, Nikolai, and Ramonov. You know, all these people felt like they knew each other, they were all close, they were all funny. It felt like they were real characters. But unlike the rest of the characters, Soap and Paul Jackson are mute protagonists. Now, sometimes mute protagonists actually work amazing in games such as Fallout New Vegas, Doom, and Goat Simulator. But for this game, I can't say the same. Something just feels off when a character says nothing. Even when all gillied up, Price says nothing. He's completely silent. And that just takes me out of the game sometimes because I have no reaction from the character. Like, just imagine you were just lore dumping all your friends and then there's just one going, that would be weird, wouldn't it? While the protagonists aren't my favorite, I did like the other characters, with Price easily being my favorite character in the game. I mean, come on, he goes WWE style on Al-Assad. But speaking of Al-Assad, don't worry, I'll start talking good about this game very soon. But the villains in this game are just really weak. I mean, after Al-Assad kills President Al-Falani, he does nothing until the nuke. And Zakhaev fares a little better thanks to all gillied up, but he's really shallow too. Also, both of them die from pistols. Don't ask why, but this adds to a little counter we're gonna have here. See how this goes in future videos. Now let's talk about good things. I told you I would. I love the fact that this game doesn't tell you things directly. Like when Gaz pulled out a shotgun and made that reference. I like that. It doesn't feel like the game is holding my hand and saying, hey, this is how you play the game. The only time you get a tutorial is in the first mission, and it isn't really much of a tutorial, it more feels like a real learning experience. And the fact that the minigame was the exact same as the cargo mission, it makes the game feel more connected. And the game's action, I'll give it to the Marine section of the game. The action was so much better than the stealth-oriented missions of the SAS. Overall, the story of COD 4 is good, but it leaves some room to be desired. It has many great moments and plenty of characters that I'm excited to see as they grow the rest of the franchise with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and 3. While the enemies and factions aren't very strong, the overall action and memorable moments makes this campaign worth it. A great first start for a game. But with all this story talk, how does the gameplay hold up all these years later? Well, if I said a game from 2007 still has great gameplay to this day, would you believe me? Hopefully you do, because this game still holds up. First of all, the gunplay in this game is really good. Usually you can say, it's a Call of Duty game, of course the gunplay is good excuse. But we have to remember, this is only the 4th Call of Duty ever, and this was the first one not to be set in World War II. So the fact that the guns like the AK-47, the MP5, the USP, the RPGs, and they all feel good is a rare case for shooters at the time. Now, one teensy tiny little problem I have is the guns do all feel somewhat similar. They all feel like they have the same amount of recoil, and outside of the designs and the magazine size, that's the only major differences I kind of see. Pistols feel different, but they're semi-auto, and of course, a semi-auto gun would feel different from an automatic rifle. The mounted machine guns and helicopter miniguns were powerful as hell, and I felt like they were fast, killing machines. But the normal guns, your ARs and SMGs, felt pretty similar to me. Shotguns felt pretty good too, but I rarely ever saw them and rarely ever really used them. The mission gameplay for the two stories makes both of them feel really different. The Marine story was way more focused on just pure shooting in the action. Enemies are everywhere and there's very little deviation from just the classic boots on the ground, shoot the enemy, get the objective done. But the SAS missions are more oriented around the stealth. They're more experimental with the missions like Death from Above with the AC-130, which was the first ever in the Call of Duty. Or All Gillied Up, which was a flashback mission and was the most stealthy mission in the whole game. The missions where the Marines and the SAS teamed up felt more like the Marine missions as they focused back to the action. And while I do like just mowing down the horde of enemies, I really did like the more stealthy missions as I felt like I actually had to think. But the one thing I'll give this game is there's not a single bad mission. Every mission in this game was fun to play, and not once did I go, yeah, I'm bored. All of them felt unique, and each mission I can basically tell apart from each other. The movement in this game is the same as every single COD until 2019, outside of jetpacks and the advanced movement that they added, but you know what I mean. It's just your basic sprint aim down sights here. There's no sprint reload, no advanced movement, it's just classic COD. Overall, COD 4's gameplay is basic yet fun and had the feeling that Call of Duty has had for years and still has to this day. And yet again, for a game in 2007, it holds up well and the gameplay is still one of the best I've ever played. With all of this, we finally come to the last part of this game, which is the impact it has left on the gaming space. COD 4 wasn't just a deviation from the first 3 Call of Duty games, it was a complete reset of the franchise. What set COD 4 apart from the first 3 entries and even other shooters at the time was how the campaign felt like a movie. Most campaigns sell you on the story. Now this game has a good story, I have my issues with it obviously, but I'm not gonna take away the cinematic approach this game took, and it's completely different from almost every other campaign I've ever played, in shooters, in most games in general. Only games I can think about that also took a cinematic approach that at least I've played is Red Dead Redemption, and that is one of the greatest games to have ever been made. This game also does something Call of Duty has been failing to do for years, subverting my expectations. Well, I mean in a good way. But this game surprises you instead of just doing something stupid. When you get shot by Al-Assad, when the nuke goes off, when the nukes launch again. All of these moments that surprise you were good, as subversions of my expectations, and actually felt like they were adding on to the story. The game doesn't just do something cheap, it actually worked and did something cool. But the biggest problem I'm gonna have here is the most influential part of this game is the multiplayer. And why did I not include the multiplayer in this video? Well, besides the fact that this was a campaign retrospective, I couldn't even play the multiplayer if I wanted to. I tried playing the multiplayer, I genuinely did. I could not find a single lobby for Team Deathmatch, for Domination, Free-for-all, all these modes. I could not find a single lobby. And so a lot of the influence this game has, when I've been researching this, has been from the multiplayer and how they put a lot of effort into that. But even with this, the campaign on its own is one of the greatest ever told. The campaign does get a lot of praise for what it did in its unprecedented step for Call of Duty. It was a great stepping stone for the rest of the Modern Warfare trilogy and the rest of Call of Duty. This game is definitely a cinematic experience. The title did not lie. Now, what would I rate this game? Personally, I would give it an 8 out of 10. The story was great and it was a perfect start to a beautiful trilogy. And while the game does have some weak points and some parts I don't like, I can look over that due to the gameplay, the good characters, the cinematic feel, and just the overall quality of this game. One thing about COD 4 that really isn't mentioned is that nobody hates this game. This might be the most universally liked Call of Duty of all time. There's not a single detractor from this game, in my opinion. You really have to try to hate COD 4. I genuinely have never heard a single really bad thing about this, and I feel like I was very negative, and I'm still getting this an 8 out of 10. This is a really good game. And that might be one of the best parts of this game. It is the most universally liked. And I can say, after going through this video, playing the game and all that, it is not nostalgia. This game is genuinely that good. This game was an experience that very few games have ever left on me. I remember the story still. I haven't played the game in like 2 fucking months. I still remember it all. And I know I've been watching through the footage and all of that and reading the script, but I'm still thinking about it outside of that. Very few games have ever done that to me. And that gives me so much hope for the other 2 games when I get to review those and the rest of the franchise. Until Ghosts. And then we might start struggling. Now, what do you think of COD 4? Is it great? Is it bad? Do you somehow have that opinion? I don't know how you would. Where do you rank this game compared to the rest of the franchise? Is it one of the best, or are you a little harder on it? That's for you to decide. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Hey guys, I know it's the outro, but I'm here to tell you guys about the video little challenge you can do with the mini games. If you send over a video of it via my Discord or to my Twitter and you beat my time, I will give you a shout out in the next video. If you beat Gaz's record of 19 seconds, I'll give you a shout out in a short and the video. So you get 2 in 1. This challenge will last from 2 weeks from the day this video came out, so make sure you get your submissions in quick. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. This was a 5-year anniversary video, so this means a lot to me. Thank you guys for watching, and have fun in the challenge.